Good morning, children of God. Welcome back to the Children's Chapel. Today, we are still in the time of the color purple. Purple is the color of the time of Lent. It is also the color that the bishop wears. This is the bishop's hat. We call it a mitre. See how pointy it is? This is the bishop's staff. It reminds us of the shepherd's staff. It's called a crosier. Bishops are like Jesus. They're good shepherds. They care for the people of God, and they care for many churches in an area we call a diocese. Today's story is about one such bishop. Her name is Bishop Barbara Harris. And Bishop Harris was the first woman bishop. Bishop Harris not only was a woman, but she was an African American woman, what made it even more special. When Barbara was a little girl growing up in her Episcopal church, St. Barnabas, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she attended with her whole family. They were very active and involved in that church. Barbara's mother played the organ, and her father attended services there. Barbara taught Sunday school, sang in the choir, and just loved to talk to people about God. It was a wonderful time, and she had many great memories of her time at church as a child. It made a big impact on her, so that when Barbara grew up, she knew just about every hymn in the hymnal. She learned to play the piano. She took music lessons. She loved to sing, and she sang often in her church choir. As an adult, Bishop Harris, before she was a bishop or even a priest, was very active in the civil rights movement. She sometimes would go on the freedom marches with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And once she even went to Selma, Alabama with him. Barbara would often visit people in prisons and in jails. She thought that God cared about them too, especially those who were the least, the lost, and even the most left out. She had a heart for those people. When she was 50 years old, Barbara felt the call to become a priest. So she had a lot of time to think about what God was calling her to do. But you know, back then, there were many people who didn't think a woman could or even should be a priest. But then there were other people who asked, why not? So Barbara became a priest. Eventually, she became a bishop. And back then, there were many people who didn't think that women should even be bishops. But then lots more people believed, why not? Bishop Harris played an important role as a woman, especially as an African American woman in the Episcopal Church. She was the first. And although it was a very hard thing to be the first, she did it with joy and love and the faith that God had truly called her to this witness. She often quoted these words, "The power behind you is greater than any obstacle ahead of you." In fact, she would write these words on a piece of paper and carry them around with her in her pocket. Today, the church remembers Bishop Barbara Harris. She died 1 year ago today on March 13th, 2020. But her memory lives on. She was a small person who did big things for God. So I wonder what you like best about the story. I wonder if any part of the story is about you, or if that you are here in any part of the story. I wonder if we could leave out any part of the story, but still have all that we need. I wonder if God is calling you to do great things. I wonder what great things you will do for God.